Before the Marvel Cinematic Universe took over the world, before Tony Stark charmed us with snark and swagger, there was another hothead setting the screen on fire. Literally. I'm talking about Johnny Storm, Marvel's Human Torch in the Fantastic Four, 2005. Today we're diving into the action, the drama, and the broiest behavior this side of Baxter Building. Let's recap and review the early Marvel blockbuster. Fantastic Four 2005 introduces us to Marvel's first family in a pre-MCU era where comic book movies were still figuring themselves out. The movie kicks off with Reed Richards, Lone Grufford, a brilliant but awkward scientist, convincing his old colleague, rival-turned-billionaire Victor Von Doom, played by the late, great Julian McMahon, to fund a space mission. Along the ride are his buddy Ben Grimm, Michael Chickles, ex-girlfriend Sue Storm, Jessica Alba, and her younger brother Johnny Storm, played with full-throttle frat boy energy by a pre-Captain America Chris Evans. Once in space, cosmic rays hit the crew and change their DNA, giving them powers. Reed becomes Mr. Fantastic with stretch abilities, Sue can turn invincible and project force fields, Ben becomes the Thing, a walking pile of orange bricks, and Johnny, well, he can ignite into flames and flying, living out every Daredevil college bro's fantasy, but of course you already knew all of their powers. As the group struggles with their new identities, Doom becomes increasingly unstable and villainous, eventually transferring into Dr. Doom. The climax brings the team together to stop him in a city showdown filled with fire, fists, and teamwork. So let's talk about Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch. Chris Evans gives him a full send-off as a cocky, fun-loving adrenaline junkie. He's the kind of guy who would shotgun an energy drink before skydiving out of a moving jet. Whether he's flirting with nurses, staging publicity stunts, or pranking Ben Grimm like it's Pledge Week, Johnny radiates peak frat boy energy. He even names himself Human Torch Baby while grinning for the cameras in a scene that feels it could double as a TikTok thirst trap. Now, if you've watched the previous Fantastic Four review here on the channel, you know that I thought the name revealing in Fantastic Four, the animated series, was cringeworthy at best. But honestly, I thought all of the comic book name drops worked in this film. There may be a slight 2000s cringe, but that's what makes these movies what they are. Anyway, there's a reckless charm to Johnny, but also a surprising heart. Beneath the bravado, you can see he cares about his sister, respects Reed, kinda, and starts to embrace the responsibilities that comes with powers eventually. The rest of the team has solid moments too, but Johnny brings most of the movie's energy. While Reed and Sue's romance is lukewarm and Ben's arc feels a bit undercooked, Johnny is all gas, no brakes. In fact, Evans' performance was such a standout, it's wild to think he'd later become the wholesome face of Captain America. Some other parts of the movie, however, I thought the Thing's practical effects were handled really well, and although his now ex-wife is an absolutely awful character, props to Kerry Washington's character for showing some compassion to the Thing. If you've watched Kerry in Scandal, drop a comment below, and also let me know if you knew that she was married to longtime NFL cornerback Nnamdi Asomugha. Otherwise, that is your new fun fact trivia of the day. Anyway, not to get sidetracked, Dr. Doom feels like a Scooby-Doo villain to me rather than a menacing presence. But hey, my first time watching this movie is in 2025, so maybe I should give it a little slack. Although Julian McMahon does a fantastic job with the portrayal of the character that they wanted. And as someone who has watched 80% of the Marvel movies, it was fantastic, no pun intended, seeing one of Stan Lee's cameos again. Fantastic Four 2005 isn't a cinematic masterpiece, but it is a fun, campy, mid-2000s take on Marvel's most family-oriented franchise. The CGI hasn't aged well, the dialogue is cheesy at times, and the plot plays it safe, but it captures that old-school comic book tone with a heavy dose of early 2000s style. And if nothing else, it gave us Chris Evans as Johnny Storm, who practically invented the modern superhero party boy before Tony Stark ever stepped into his Iron Man boots. If you are in the mood for a stretchy science, rock-punching brawls, invisible shields, and a human fireball doing donuts in the sky, Fantastic Four 2005 still holds a special place in Marvel movie history. It's not perfect, but it's fun, and let's be honest, Johnny Storm's frat boy fire might just be the reason to watch it again. Well, what are your thoughts on Fantastic Four 2005? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell for more superhero breakdowns. Until the next time, flame on.